Another convention is realism. Were we able to follow this?
Ding!
While
Ding,
yes,
ding, ding, ding.
because there was archive, we had archive footage of interviews and location shooting as well as following action. So in our documentary, as stated here, all the location footage was done in real time and the interviews were not done by actors. All the different montage footage were actually from the areas that the interviewees work and of the happiness speaker actually giving the talk. Now, however, realism, if we look at what Baudrillard said, how as soon as we get the camera and choose an angle and a shot type and all of this stuff, we're actually breaking reality. We're not showing reality because we have chosen to do that. So in some sense, you could argue that we did break this convention, but realistically, we did follow this convention because everything's done in real time. But if you look at it in Baudrillard's sense, realism is kind of destroyed the second we chose to shoot the interviewees in the exact same way that we did. Right? Do you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But overall, we didn't follow this
on that
convention.
one. High five.
Yeah. Next one, talking heads. Talking heads are...
It sounds like a puppet. Like just talking heads.
Next one, talking heads are like interviewers but with members of the public. Wow.
So you get their head, you make them talk.
It's known
and answer
as
questions.
It's known as Vox Pops.
Not Vox Box.
Yeah.
Definitely not Vox
Not
Box.
Vox Pops. Vox Pops.
I got that wrong.
Yeah. So were we able to follow this convention? Well, yes, we did because we included footage of people stating what makes them happy. However, we originally intended to do actual Vox Pops where we go in and just shoot them person to person, but due to unfortunate events, we were unable to do this. So, in some sense, so we did follow this conventions because we got friends and family to send us videos. However, the problem with this is that it took us a lot of time to actually edit the footage because when we first did it and we had the framing of the shot that they sent us because we couldn't really control the framing. So a lot of people said
because a lot of people, it was done on mobile phones. So if you made it bigger, it just went all blurry.
Yeah, so it was not like that ideal. So we had to find a way. And when we first did the production, we first edited it. It was just one shot with like black around, which is very unconventional and not very like professional.
Also, it kind of looked a bit dull.
Yeah,
boring.
so we ended up having to spend more time editing these into three different ones where they all play at different times as seen in our documentary. So overall, we're successfully able to do this, but we could have improved by doing real Vox Pops, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot more like a documentary. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. Now,
It doesn't feel...
the next convention is visual coding.
Coding.
So this links to the mise en scène, to clothing associate with who the interview is. So, do you think we followed this?
I do, actually. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I think we followed this because, as you can see from the different montage shots of universities, where Yannick and Sundari work, so they're our interviewees, so we showed where they work, so the montage links to them. And especially in Sundari's office, where you can see the books and criminology. And furthermore, this was evident in the different montage shots of Frederica giving her speech to boarders. However, there's a problem here in some sense which kind of links to our narrative, because by doing this and showing, especially mostly with Frederica's, as you can see, boarding school is normally linked to wealth, because people who have money are people who can afford boarding school, right? Mm-hmm. So in some sense, this meant that subconsciously we were promoting the ideology that wealth equals happiness.
Yeah.
Especially having the happiness speaker speaking in a boarding school. I mean, you know what I mean? So I think we could have improved in that sense when we really thought about what montage shots we have and what they actually meant when it comes to our narrative, because we wanted our narrative to portray the ideology that everybody can achieve happiness no matter how much money they have. But in the end, if you look at that combined with like shots of like LA and New York and London, they all kind of link to wealth. So that's kind of
We kind of contradict ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Now, next convention is exposition. Now, what's exposition, you may ask? It is an intro to a documentary that introduces the main theme. It's a first impression for the viewers to catch the viewers' attention. Now, that's what it means. So, were we able to do this?
Ding ding.
Ding! Yes, we were. Now, why were we able to do this? Because, as you can see in the beginning of our documentary, we have the definition of happiness. So it straight away introduces what our documentary is about.
Insert definition of happiness here.
Yes, exactly. Happiness is what? Never mind. But anyways,
Just put it in.
insert definition of happiness here. Ding ding. So, also, it's followed by different montage footage of people stating what makes them happy, as well as the voice of God expressing the first opinion of happiness, right? So, as you can see, this immediately provides our audience with intellectual pleasure as well as entertainment from the second they watch our documentary.
Immediately.
Yeah, so they would want to watch more. You know what I mean, right?
Keep
So
them
we were
hanging on.
luckily we were able to do this, which was a very good decision that we made. Now, I'm sorry, but this is the last convention of a documentary before I bore you, and before we talk about kind of the mode of documentary.
Thank
So,
God.
ambient and diegetic sound. Did we follow this convention?
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. However,
course we
in the
did.
beginning we didn't, because in the beginning we actually did not have the ambient noises of the locations heard
No.
when we were showing of the when we were sorry. So we did this, yeah. However, in the first draft, we actually didn't do this because we actually muted all the ambient
We
noise
muted
from
all
the
the sound
different
and just played
montage
our
footage,
what's it called?
and we just played the score.
Yeah, that's it.
And specifically, as I mentioned before, we played the score in the interviewees, which was very unconventional because we want them to be focused.
Yeah.
So we ended up having there be more ambient noise during the second and final draft of our documentary. Specifically, with the different montage footage, we ended up actually putting the ambient noise, the noise that you could hear in that specific location. So overall, we did follow this, and it was very, and it kind of, so by doing this, and by the score not being evident, not being heard, where the interviews draws the attention, allows the audience to focus on what the interviewees are saying, and provided the audience to get a feel of the environment that the interviewees are part of. Don't you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And I need to stop talking now, so Lily can go state her points.
Our mode of documentary.
Our mode
is
of documentary is the expository. Originally, so looking at it now, it's more of an expository, but originally we said it would be a bit of an expository and a bit of observational mode because of the location shooting and long takes that would dominate our interviews. Long takes would dominate our production. However, in the end, when looking back at it, although we did location shooting, long takes didn't really dominate our production. I mean, in terms of montage footage, because so they didn't really
quite short and sweet.
They didn't really dominate, and the interviews included synchronous sound recording, and only the interviews included synchronous sound recording, which were conventions of an observational mode that we said we would follow, but ended up breaking.
Okay, so now we move on to my section. This is when I go Australian. This is the form conventions. It's important to remember that the form of our The form of our documentary is short film. Are you listening?
Yeah, wait, I think I have to do this one again.
Why?
I missed out on the correction.
Go for it.
Okay. Now, finally, we're talking about the conventions of our mode of our documentary. So, we stated that a documentary would both be expository and observational, but looking at it now, we believe that it's more of an expository documentary. This is because even if there was quite a bit of location shooting, long takes did not dominate our production, and only the interviews included synchronous sound recording, which were conventional for an observational mode that we ended up breaking. So, and furthermore, our documentary completely goes off one of the conventions of an observational mode, which is the fly on the wall. We're leaving the camera rolling while with the content as it happens, right? So, the fact that we included 3 videos, we go against this entirely because as you can see, we kind of freeze framed what's going on in that shot. We didn't include the extra stuff that had happened, the extra reactions and everything, and they all are individual and they all state what happened. So we could have had the camera rolling for the other ones, just muted them, but we ended up not doing this. So that's another reason why it's more expository rather than observational.